I'm Corey Micah, owner of Orca Swim School. This is part of our series about questions and myths of swimming. Today we're talking about what floating is. Everybody assumes in order to be a great swimmer, I have to be a great floater. And everybody assumes that floating is something you do. I get in the water and I make myself like Superman, put my arms and my legs out nice and straight so I can be as flat to the surface of the water as possible. This just isn't true. So first, some information about floating, what it is. So I got this little guy, my little helper here, my little rubber air-filled guy. If I were to put him in the water, what would happen? Well, let's see. He will float. There he is, floating on the water. He's not doing anything, he's not Supermaning his arms, he's just floating, because that's his properties. Now, I also have this guy. This is a rock. If I put a rock in the water, it will, well, sink, like a rock. The rock isn't doing anything different. I didn't teach one to do one thing or one to do another. It's just a property. And our bodies are the same way. Some parts of our bodies are more floaty. That would be the parts that are filled with air or fat. There are other parts of our bodies that are less floaty, that are more dense, the bones part, the muscle part. That's why most people float like this. Our head up here and our feet down here. This is because our feet have no air and very little fat, lots of bone and muscle, so they tend to sink. Our upper part of our bodies, full of air, these big air sacs up here, that tends to be the floaty part. This is a perfectly great way to be a floater in the water. People who float like this, or even like this, are great swimmers. Our Olympic swimmers, in fact, don't float at all. Doesn't prevent them from being amazing swimmers. So wherever your floating is, up or down or near the surface, it's perfectly great to learn how to swim.